This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Christine Woltulski from Besser Museum. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Nancy.
You were making me tired when you told me your list of everything that's going on at the museum. And you know, there's always so much to do in our community with arts and history. It's just amazing to me. And speaking about history, Alpena City Band turns 100 years old.
Right, and we are helping them celebrate that with a little exhibit that we put together at the museum. Ron, Katie, and Larry McLennan came in and talked to us about doing something quite a few months ago. And you know how you get busy and things get a little like creep up on you. And so lucky for us, our summer intern, Elena Nugent, came back. She's a history major at the University of Michigan. And so she was assigned the project of helping them do this exhibit. And so she researched and designed and even helped set their 100th anniversary exhibit. And it starts from like the late 1800s, early 1900s, up to, of course, 2018. So you'll see some pictures and some old news articles about them, some old instruments and band uniforms.
Wow.
And so it just got set. It opens today, and it will run through August 31st.
And that's a part of our history because City Band has always been there. They do some wonderful things, and just listening to those volunteer musicians is wonderful.
Really, there's a passion for music, and you think arts and dance or maybe theater, but our city band is part of that arts and culture here, and they have been around for 100 years, so it is something to celebrate. So come on into the museum and really learn about their history. And they will also be playing at Log Cabin Day.
Yay!
Saturday, June 30th, our annual Log Cabin Day. It's been sponsored by DTE Foundation, so that allows us to do $1 admission and $1 planetarium shows.
Perfect.
We call it Log Cabin Dollar Days.
Yes.
And it's good old-fashioned fun for a good old-fashioned price. And the City Band will be playing from 1 to 2, but before then, we're having music out in the Spratt Church. It's called One Voice, a gospel touring group. They've been here many years ago. They tour all over the United States and even Europe. They're going to be popping in and playing from 12:30 to 1:30. We will have reenactment in the backyard, Civil War reenactment, the cannons again. We have Revolutionary War reenactors. We will have recollections, fashion show. If you remember, Marianne Fairbanks does the Victorian clothing. So we're going to have a special fashion show again this year.
Wow.
And I'm just trying to think of all the many things because we have spinners and weavers and wood carvers and butter makers. We're going to have face painting for kids. And so it's $1 for everyone, $1 per person, and $1 for planetarium shows, 12 to 4 p.m.
And what will the planetarium show be?
Good question.
Okay,
I don't
we'll
know.
find out when we get there.
We'll find out. We've been playing Habitat
good.
Earth for all of our field trips. And oh my gosh, people love it. We've probably put through close to 1,000 kids on our field trips. We're just winding down to the end of our field trip. So they stop June 14th.
Okay.
Log Cabin Day will be June 30th. And speaking about planetariums, we have the 5 shows on Saturday.
Okay.
We'll have 2 shows on Sunday. And check out our website for the schedules. And if there's anything added on like a Friday and Thursday, I'm not quite sure what the schedule is there.
But Log Cabin Days is something for the entire family, and a rich history in our community. People need to come. They need to bring their family. They need to see all the wonderful things that go on there.
Well, the historical buildings will be open. We'll also have Tuffy Cross there hosting the Catherine V, the 1928 fisheries fishing tug, commercial fish tug, and he does such a great job. And you can get on the boat and walk around and just see all the work that the volunteers have put into that new exhibit. And so it is a great time. And we'll also be having the really big art sale, which is the Northeast Michigan Artists Guild.
Okay.
And so they have their exhibit up right now in the Tralfa Gallery, whatever the weather, awesome exhibit. But they also start a really big art sale. So the artists bring in other pieces of their work, and it will be on sale during Log Cabin Day and then through till the end of their exhibit.
Wow.
So you'll want to come in and meet and greet the artist
Yes.
and see some of their work. And talking about meeting and greeting artists,
Yes.
Irv Lewandowski will be holding some workshops at the museum this summer. So he'll have intro to the drawing, and then intermediate drawing, and then advanced drawing classes. And so if you've been always wanting to take a class, you might want to start with the intermediate
Yes.
pencil drawing classes. Irv has just really perfected his drawing with the water and the rocks and his surrealism. And so he will be sharing his talent and
Very good.
with people. So yeah, check out our website, www.bessermuseum.org, and you'll find out all the information you need to know about what's happening at the Besser Museum.
And you mentioned all the special events that are going on, but we still have all of the normal displays and things that are happening there, such as?
Such as, we do have our Native American Gallery,
Okay.
and that is such a unique collection by the Haltiners, but we're also working, Nancy, to update that. So we've been working for the last couple years and have a great exhibit design plan. Everything takes a couple years, but
Yes.
that's up for on display. The Avenue of Shops is a favorite. The Besser Company. People always ask about, why are we named Besser Museum and Besser School and Besser Company and Besser Lake? And so learning more about Jesse Besser and that rich history of the Besser
Yes.
Company. And we also have the Alpina Flyer, which is the last remaining car from the Alpina Motor Car Company.
Yes.
And then our animal exhibit. So, what else we're doing? I almost forgot to mention, which you might even enjoy, yoga at the museum.
Ooh, I saw signs about that.
Yep, mindful movement at the museum with Paige Trisco. She's like a 500-hour trained yoga instructor, and it's mixing art and yoga and teaching meditation, of course, good stretching, and just how to really appreciate and meditate in the space that you're in, and bringing the two together. And I didn't know until our class last week that yoga started out as a very elite activity for just young boys, and museums started out for just the elite. And so Paige was saying bringing those two together to where they're more accessible to the benefit of us all
Yes.
is really good. So yeah, it's a drop-in session, so you
Okay.
don't have to register, you don't have to participate in every single class. We have yoga mats if you don't have your own,
Okay.
and it's on Tuesdays from 5:30 to 6:30. You just drop in. You're welcome to bring your own mat, of
Okay.
course, but it's $10 a session, and enjoy some yoga in the art gallery.
Thank you very much. Lots of information. I'll look forward to talking to you next month.
Thanks, Nancy.
Thank you. I'll be right back with Mary Beth Stutzman from the Alpena Visitors and Convention Bureau following these messages. Hi, welcome back. My last guest today is Mary Beth Stutzman from the Visitors and Convention Bureau right here in Alpena. Hi, Mary Beth.
Hi.
I haven't been over to see your new office yet, but I understand it's wonderful.
Oh, yes. We moved in at the end of February into we call it the Water Wheel Building,
Okay.
but it's the old Sweet Tooth ice cream gelato shop right next to John Lau Saloon, across from JJ's in old downtown Alpena on 2nd Avenue, so just over the bridge. We moved in at the end of February and pretty much were instantly busy right away. We were pleasantly surprised at how many visitors not only were in town at that time when it's the end of winter and usually everyone's still
Right.
bundled up, but also we were pleased that people were finding us, and the community has been extremely supportive of our new building, and seeing us grow into a space. We basically outgrew our current last location and had to find something bigger, and we were looking around and really couldn't believe this building was right under our noses.
Yes.
It had been on the market for a while, and we were looking for something that we could either build in some Alpena charm into it without being too costly, or finding something that already had it, and we found it.
Yes.
And it was met all the checks and balances, and full steam ahead.
Yay! So I saw something on Facebook, I think last week, about we're going to be on television somewhere or something.
Oh well, we're always on television.
Okay.
We're on television a lot, but earlier this year we were on the Outdoor Channel.
Mm-hmm.
Our last full season of filming of the fishing show, Major League Fishing, that was filmed last summer, aired early this year, this spring. So we had shared with the community one of the promotional videos for Alpena that was on national television when that show aired on the Outdoor Channel. Most of our work is behind the scenes.
Yes.
in terms of what the community sees, because we're not trying to get the community here because we already live here. So our money is spent outside of the region. It's spent across 75 and beyond, Pinconning. We have a number of markets around the state that we hit. We're going to be airing commercials in the Chicago market pretty soon throughout the summer. And, of course, Outdoor Channel television programming, Major League Fishing, Fishing University. Some other shows have come here and filmed for that. Some other outdoor wildlife types of shows. So every once in a while we like to show the community kind of what we do outside of the area. So what you saw was that promotion. And it was really fun to see because people started sharing it and saying, oh, look where I grew up, or this is my hometown, you have to come on vacation with me or come visit. So it's really great to see that community pride that is kind of reinvigorated
Yes.
when people see the whole package put together, because a lot of times we take for granted what we have here.
We do. Yay, so what other exciting things are going to be happening?
Well, coming up shortly on June 12th, next Tuesday, I believe, we have partnered with Neiman's Family Market, and we are welcoming the Back to the Bricks car show. And this is really an interesting car show. It is something that was started in Flint to kind of reinvigorate the downtown area of Flint a few years ago, and it's huge. It's kind of a smaller version of Detroit's Woodward Dream Cruise in Flint. So to promote that, they do a tour throughout Michigan. So they're going through the middle of the state, heading up to St. Ignace, and on their way back to Flint, they're coming through Alpena, and so we have the honor of being a pit stop for them.
Great.
So Neiman's has generously offered to help us serve them donuts and coffee for their stop. They will be parking in the Neiman's parking lot from about 10:30 to 12:30.
Okay.
They're bringing about 200 cars with them,
Wow.
vintage automobiles, and they'll be coming and going throughout this time span. So if anyone visited the Great Race Road Rally last year that we hosted at the Yacht Club, it's somewhat similar. The cars will be coming, the drivers will get out, they'll stop and take a break, they'll chat with the locals who've come down to see the cars, they'll hop back in their car, they'll keep on going down the line. More cars will come in. All the cars are different ages, so some of them go a little faster, some go a little slower. So we're very excited about that and very thankful to Neiman's to host and be a location venue for that.
Perfect. Okay, I'm sure there's some other wonderful things going on.
Well, as always, our primary focus is on marketing the community outside of the region. So we have a number of partnerships that we have been working with to kind of boost up some of those efforts. We've laid the groundwork for a lot of things over the last 5 years. Some of those things have really taken off. Fishing, for example.
Yes.
It's one of the things that we do all year round as a community and as a resident population.
Yes.
So it just makes sense that that would be something that other people would be interested in too, and that is proving true. We've done some major promotion of that. Now we are going to work on maintaining that. We can't grow every year exponentially because then everything will be overpopulated and we won't enjoy living here.
Right.
So last year I went back to school to become certified in sustainable tourism destination management to help understand what it means not only for our organization but also for the community, to help the community understand that growth is great, but it has to be strategic and it has to be authentic to what we have to offer.
Yes.
And if we can always say, living here with growth and with prosperity and progress, if we can always say that we love living here, then we're successful. As soon as we start to feel cramped and crowded and like we don't enjoy our hometown anymore, then we know we've gone a little too far.
Okay.
So our goal is to never go too far.
Perfect.
So a lot of our marketing activities coming up this year are focused on maintaining some of the growth in some of the areas that we have experienced, and then helping build up other areas. For example, fall tourism has been a secondary push for us for a while, and it's starting to show some good improvement. If you talk to a lot of local business owners, some of them will say, well, summer, it's at a point where it kind of takes care of itself now. So we're helping to move into those shoulder seasons, which would be spring and fall. And fall's been really good. Last year, fall tourism lingered all the way through until November.
Perfect.
Which was really great to see. So we'll be boosting that area again this year to hopefully continue some of that growth and stability.
And there's so many new businesses coming into town, and you walk down the street and you see people improving their storefronts, and everyone gets it, I think. Everyone realizes, that if you want to be a destination, you got to have something for them to come for. So I think people, the competition and all the things that are bringing people in make people be the best they can be.
Yes, and I really believe that Alpena is one of the greatest places in, the world, really. But I'm a little biased.
Yes.
But I think that other people feel that too. We recently had a travel writer come through who said, everyone we've talked to so far just really wants to tell their story. When we were out on the break wall walking around, and when we went here or there, people just, when they found out what we were here for, they just really were excited and wanted to share this community with us, and were giving us suggestions and ideas, and that's really great.
Wonderful.
To see that people are not only are excited about living here, but also excited about sharing it.
Well, we're out of time. I want to thank you very much for being here today, and I look forward to talking to you soon to see what other exciting things are in the works.
Thanks.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Don McMaster following these messages.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College, and I'm pleased to have as our guest this morning Dawn Stone, Carrie Kamishek, Workforce Development Specialist at Alpena Community College. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys are doing wonderful work, and a lot of it, which I appreciate very much, and the community does too. One of the things that's going on this week is you're working with Larry Thompson, our criminal justice instructor, on a corrections academy.
That's correct.
Why don't you tell the viewers a little bit about what that is?
We are having, through the month of June, we are having a corrections academy with, we have 10 students enlisted from different counties. We have Montmorency, Marquette County, Alpena County, and Kalkaska County. And the students have to go through 160 hours worth of classroom training time, and there's 12 modules that are covered with the Corrections Academy. So this week we have the 10 students that are starting the academy, and they are doing wonderful. They actually had GAGE training yesterday, which was actually a contact training, which was pretty exciting to see how they interact with each other.
Sure.
And stuff like that. So it was pretty interesting.
That is neat. So that would be how to subdue somebody that they needed to, or in a confrontation, that sort of
Correct.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had mats out and the whole thing.
They had mats out, and it's just different techniques of how to protect yourself in a different type of atmosphere with the actual criminals, inmates. If they come at you at a different angle, certain ways, just gives them a sense and training on how to protect themselves.
Very neat. So Dawn, tell the viewers, if you would, why this training is needed by the people who are in it.
Sure. So Alpena Community College has been doing corrections academies for about 15 years, and what it does is a local jail can hire a person to be a corrections officer, and within the first year they have to attend official training and become certified. So this corrections academy certifies these folks to work in jails in a local sheriff's office. So it's not, it's not a police academy. It doesn't certify them to become police officers. It certifies them to work in jails and be able to handle inmates. They go through things like booking and intake, and then of course how to protect themselves. There are a couple different modules that are associated with that. And then, there are a lot of soft skill training modules as well. Things like, interpersonal communication and suicide awareness and things that are really real in a jail. So it's a really fantastic training. It's super deep, does a lot of work in real life activities. All our instructors are phenomenal. They have, you know, experience working in jails. They have lengthy experiences working in jails. So their stories are pretty cool, and cool in a not good way, but cool that they have lived it.
Yeah.
And they can express to the students, this is how I applied this knowledge. You know, this is the material, but this is how I saw it be used, and this is how you really use it.
Real life scenarios.
Real life, yep.
So you workforce development specialists. How do you go about finding these instructors?
Well, go ahead, you can cover that one, because it's kind of tricky.
There is a website that you can go through. It's called Lopats, and you go onto the website. You need a login and a password, and you just put in the area or the actual module, excuse me, that you are looking for trainers for, and then there is a list of trainers that you can contact. So depending on which module we were covering, I would need to go onto the web page or to the website and look for that specific trainer for that specific module.
Very interesting. And then so you would reach out to the trainers who are eligible or willing or capable of teaching that module to find out whether they could do it on Tuesday from 9 to 1 o'clock, that sort of
correct.
thing.
And in order to be a trainer, you do have to go through a course through the Michigan, I'm not sure how that is, MISCTC training. It's a train the trainer course for a week, and then what they require you to do is to actually audit, which means sit in on one of the modules to just understand how that instructor delivers the module and the material.
Very good. So they have a little bit of teaching experience in addition to corrections experience. So what's your overall assessment of the group? They've come from a long ways off. They bond well. What are some of the things you see as organizers?
Well, it's kind of neat because they're all very different. They're, you know, we've got a couple of females, a couple of guys, and all ages. A lot of them are fairly young, just starting their careers. But they're really good people, and they're all very excited about doing the job, which is very refreshing and nice to see.
Yeah, it seems like they take ownership out of it. Yesterday when they were doing the gauge, you know, the physical contact, it was really neat how each one of them actually worked as a team, because they would actually switch partners and get different partners. So you'd have to do different techniques on different people. So it was really, you know, some are smaller, some are larger.
Sure.
So, you know, there's a variety. So it was really interesting to see how they all interacted together as a team. It was really good.
And we have some folks from Alpena County
We do.
in this.
We have 3.
Yep, 3.
Really neat. And reference, if you would, Larry Thompson's role in this.
Sure. So Larry's the lead instructor for our criminal justice program at the college. So he, his day job is to teach the criminal justice courses at the college. What he does with us is that because he was also a police officer,
Yes.
so he has a huge amount of knowledge and a huge number of contacts with people in the field. So he's been really instrumental in identifying really good trainers, in making sure that all of the sheriff's offices know, or sheriff's departments throughout our state know that we're doing the Corrections Academy. He also knows a lot about the red tape, we'll call it, associated with the sheriff's departments and you know, adequately training corrections officers. So he's really been instrumental in making sure that all of what we do, you know, stays on track with what the mission of you know, the academy is. Because we're pretty good at organizing and facilitating and making sure everything's, you know, in line with where it needs to be. But he's the industry expert, so he's
Wonderful.
been fantastic.
Well, thank you both for carrying the ball on this and for facilitating the Corrections Academy. And thank you folks for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your host, Nancy Smitham and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at WBKB11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.